It may not be news to you, but we have us a new dynamic duo when it comes to horror directing. Radio Silence, let's rank their flicks. What the hell? God. What's going on, guys and gals? Welcome to Good Will Hunting. It's your boy Brad, the Brett Man's right over there. With the release of Abigail last weekend, we figured it is an appropriate time to rank the 5 films of Radio Silence, Birdie. We're going to have some fun today.
Dude, absolutely we will, man, because it's going to be a very difficulty picking up which 5 songs are the best.
Yeah, no!
Damn it, not again. I apologize. Okay, we're talking about Radio Silence, the film production ran by our boys of Matt Bettinelli-Olpin and Tyler Gillette, because Gillette is the best a man can get, especially if you're a horror fan. But man, I'm excited to rate these 5 particular movies. So without further ado, Brad, let's go ahead and rank these bad boys.
Let's go ahead and get number 5 out of the way. Devil's Due from 2014, found footage flick that they did. We're not here to talk about this movie. Don't really remember this movie, to be honest with you, but it's by far the worst of the 5. So let's go ahead and get to the good ones, Birdie.
Yeah, and I'm the same way. Number 5, Devil's Due. Seeing it just barely don't remember it. And before we really get into our top 4, this is really a top 4 if we're just being honest, but we're not counting the VHS movies because they were just parts of those movies, like with their little like scene selection. We're talking about like a fully directed Radio Silence movie.
Right, you are, Ted. All right, I'll move on with number 4 here. I'm going to go with Scream 5. And I actually think this movie is quite good. It's really solid. And if it's your worst, for all intents and purposes, movie in your collection, you're doing pretty damn good, because it was a very solid return to the Scream franchise back when it came out. Really brought new life into the franchise. And they did a lot of good things with it to do that. And I don't think a lot of people could have pulled it off quite as well as they did. Solid flick, but it's coming in at number 4.
Hell yeah, man. So my number 4 is also going to be Scream 5. This is like the opportunity after another movie we'll talk about on this particular movie ranking. But you know what? They deserve it to have this opportunity to crack at a Scream movie. And I thought they did a very good job. I thought Radio Silence's style really meshes good enough with what Scream does with our boy Wes Craven. Rest in peace, Wes Craven. So yeah, they did a great job. They introduced us some new characters are all kind of like on the side of a Radio Silence, like character development of what characters they like to use, and they meshed well with the traditional characters of the Scream franchise. So I thought they did a very good job, and yeah, it's just without Scream 5, we wouldn't see any more big of their movies.
That's true. That's a very good point. Number 3, I'm really going back and forth on this one, and it could change given some time, but for right now, I'm going to go with Abigail, their newest movie.
Okay.
Which again is a banger. This one's solid. They're coming back to an original idea here with Abigail. You know, a vampire flick. You kidnap a vampire, you fuck around, you find out, you get fucked up. That's what happens here if you do that. And I thought the movie was great, very original, given the how unoriginal vampires can be. They were able to turn it around and make it something fun and something really enjoyable. And again, over time, this could move up, but I've only seen it the one time, and the rest of these I've seen multiple times, so they have a little bit more going on as far as that goes. But I'm going to stick with that for now at number 3, Abigail.
Man, okay, man. So my number Trace, and this might actually, I don't think it will shock people just yet. Actually, you know who my king is going to shock people. My number 3, as of right now, is going to be Scream 6. Definitely my second favorite Scream film of all time. Is mainly because of this next step of a vision that Radio Silence decided to take to make this fun. Like, of course, it had a lot of its dark moments, but it really had fun, mainly due to the setting that they decided to take the Scream franchise. It's the city of New York. They did a great job showing off New York, but without oversharing New York. I know, Brad, you said that in your review about that, and I absolutely agree. We get our hands on the characters along introducing some new ones. The third act is what kind of holds this back from going even higher on this list. But other than that, though, I enjoyed the first and the second half. I thought that was just pure perfection for a Scream movie. And so as of right now, just Scream 6, number 3.
Nice. Number 2 is Scream 6 for me. I got it up there. Like you said, man, I love the setting, taking this story to New York for the first time, doing something really different with the setting. And so I liked it for that, but I also really like the way that, all the characters were set up in Scream 5. Now they get to play. right, in Scream 6, and they get to kind of bounce off of each other. Their chemistry is better here than it was in 5. They're really growing as a duo, or not a duo, but a core four. The core four comes alive here in Scream 6. So yeah, there's a lot of good kills in it. I thought Ghostface was brutal as fuck, so I loved him for that. You get the little cameo from Samara Weaving, a lot of cool moments in it. Like you said, the third act does kind of like hold it back a little bit from being even better. And if Abigail does pass it for me, it's going to be because of that.
Right.
But overall, though, it's just so much fun. I've watched it so many times since it came out, and I remember it was one of the better theater experiences over the last few years, particularly for horror movies, because it was just such a, like nonstop kind of like action flick almost when it comes to, what you should see in the horror franchise. So I liked it a lot, man. That'll be my number 2.
Alrighty. Brad, my number 1 and 2 are pretty much going to go back and forth, I think, within over the years. So I'm just going to go based off what I feel right now at this current moment. So my number 2 is going to be Abigail. And I know that's crazy, a 5 out of 5 movie being at number 2. I'm telling you, this is how tough the 1 and 2 spots are on this particular one. But Abigail just gave me so much more than I anticipated. It gave me a fun group of characters. It gave me a fun premise. It gave me a vampire flick, which I don't think we've had a good vampire flick for such a good while. So it's always great to see a good vampire flick. And just like, again, just the use of the mansion and all that with this, just the fun. You can just tell how much fun this movie was having from directors, the camera crew, the cast. All this is just so much fun. But there is one movie that just has a little bit more fun, a little bit more originality, and maybe just a little bit more of a better performance than my number 1. So my number 2 is Abigail at the moment.
I love it, buddy. I fucking love it. Number 1 for me, Ready or Not. This is the flick that really put them on the map as, feature film directors. And it's just one of those that came. I remember when it came out. Was it 2019? I can't remember. 2019. It came out of nowhere, man. Like we had it. Like we were like, we were ready. Like we were on top of our channel. No, we didn't have the channel yet, but we were on top of our game when it came to movies coming out. But I had no idea this one was coming. It came out, blew me away. It was just such a fun ride. Abigail is very much the same tone as this. It's the same kind of comedic, but still freaking brutal at times, and like some good kill. Like it's a perfect blend of all that. So if you want to go to a horror movie, be kind of grossed out at times, be a little scared at times, and have a lot of good laughs. Like this is your pair right here. These are the people that know how to do it. And it all really started here with Ready or Not. And Samara Weaving, again, this is kind of what freaking made her explode as well. It's not necessarily what put her on the map, but it's what made her explode, I think, because she took the lead. She did a damn good job, became, the scream queen she is today whenever she's doing horror. And yeah, just, a unique premise that, it's a game about, it's about hide and seek, but they make it so like, just fun with it, that I can't help to love it. We're going to watch it this week on the channel if we haven't already. I dig the hell out of the movie, Birdie. It's just a lot of fun.
Dude, absolutely. Samara Weaving just really reached her climax in this movie, if you know what I mean. So, my number 1 right now is Ready or Not. As of before this ranking, I gave this movie a 4.5, but then I really thought, which of the 2 movies did I enjoy more? I love the original more, like the original concept and the idea more of Ready or Not than I did Abigail. So, if you watch our watch party before or after, or this ranking before or after, I'm giving this a 5 out of 5. I'm also putting this movie in the Golden Reel Club, and that is Ready or Not at my number 1. And yes, this is the one that started it all for Radio Science, for really putting them on the map versus just barely getting on the map due to VHS. And so it's kind of like the best example I can use. It's Ready or Not taught them how to crawl so they can run, or like can walk with Ready or Not so they can run with Abigail. Like, take their mistakes from Ready or Not and really perfected them in Abigail. But I always going to give back the originality, the first one, like just to get that little edge of a nod to it. And it's always because of it going to be Samara Weaving, because she was absolutely stunning and kicked ass in this movie and will be one of the more popular final girls of all time. And you also in this movie get a bunch bunch of fun cast members in this as well that really bite into their characters and really just go for it, with the big standout being Adam Brody's character. And also, of course, that guy freaking in the bathroom watching how to use a freaking, like, the bow hunting. Again, the idea of just transforming a regular game of hide and seek and making it a horror movie is just so original, so great. We didn't really get much of a trailer off this. It just gave us one trailer, and then the next week it came out in theater. And it just exploded everywhere of how many people love this movie. I love it too. Brad loves it. It is my number one.
Same here, buddy. Same here, buddy. Look at it. It's mine, though.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure Radio Silence is not done yet. So every time they freaking do one, we will re-rank this and we'll see what happens next. But until then, guys, what did you all think about our list for Radio Silence movie ranking? Do you agree with our list, or do you have like a couple like little changes onto your list? Let us know in the comment section down below. Let's get that discussion rolling.
And if you want to help us find the good reels, you can do so by finding us right down below, and all of our socials in the description. They'll be there for you.
Alrighty, until further then, we are going to get on out of here, because ready or not, here we go.